What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel. It's another starting 11 prediction for tomorrow's League Cup quarter-final against Falkirk at Celtic Park. We come into it off the back of that brilliant 5-1 win over Bratislava the other night. A great start to the Champions League campaign, a brilliant night all round. I thought it was a tremendous atmosphere in the stadium, but the way the team played I thought was absolutely exceptional. 3 points on the board. It's the first time we've ever won our opening Champions League game, so it gives us a great platform now to move forward in the competition. Hopefully something to build on for us. We know there's much tougher tests to come, but I think some of the conjecture you've seen the last couple of days about how poor Bratislava were or were not is taking away really from how good Celtic were. I think we could have won that game 1-0, 2-0 and you'd have come away saying, listen, that's a good start, 3 points on the board, good result. But I think the manner we did it in was absolutely exceptional. To win a Champions League game 5-1, the way we played in that second half was brilliant. The atmosphere was tremendous because we came out the traps in the second half and just got after them. And it got to 2-0 and 3-0. The place was just absolutely buzzing, and that's testament to how well the team played on the night. I think you look at Slovan Bratislava, they're the champions of Slovakia. We know there's tougher tests to come, but they beat the champions of Denmark in the playoff round. They've had to come through 4 two-legged qualifying rounds to make it to the competition. And as I said in the build-up to the game on Wednesday, you don't have to go back too far to European games where Celtic have gone in favourites against unfancied opposition, and we haven't come out on top, let alone blown them away with a 5-1 victory. So I think the team deserves huge credit. The manager deserves huge credit. We know we're in a brilliant spot just now, playing really well. Lots of individual players in brilliant form. Collectively, the team's defending and attacking so well. But I think everybody deserves huge credit. That's a brilliant start the other night. And like I say, while it maybe takes a bit of the heat off these next 2 difficult away games against Dortmund and then Atalanta, it does give us some sort of belief, hopefully, that we can maybe go there and try and nick something. I think if we were going into these tougher games with 0 points on the board or even 1 point on the board for the other night, you'd be really deflated. But now we can go there with confidence, knowing it's a real step up for us. It'll be really tough, those 2 games, but if we can nick something from either of those games, we'll be in a brilliant spot going ahead when we get back to Leipzig at home. And then tackle the other 4 fixtures. Brilliant start. Could not ask for any more from the team the other night. And we have Falkirk tomorrow. I think this represents an opportunity for Brendan Rodgers to maybe give rest to some of the players who have had niggles. I know Alistair Johnston hasn't been training the last couple of days. Even going back to the Rangers game, he had a niggle. Then he went away with Canada, again came off with tightness in his hamstring. Again, put so much into the game the other night. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I think there'll be a couple of players just across the pitch, maybe like him, who, from maybe a sports science point of view, injury prevention, they might be getting close to being overloaded. Like Carter Vickers had that before the Rangers game as well. So there's 1 or 2 players in there who are really important for us, who Brendan Rodgers might not want to risk given how well we've started the season. And I think he might see fit to make some changes to the team. We'll come to how many changes I think he might make. But it is Falkirk tomorrow. Brendan Rodgers obviously got a huge amount of respect for John McGlynn, who worked with him at Celtic in his first tenure here. Falkirk have obviously been playing good football, won League One last season. They're on this really long undefeated league run. I think it stands at 43 games now. So they've got a bit about them. I think they play some good football, which is not always the case as you move down even the Premiership and into the Championship. So I think they're a decent side. We'll need to take the game seriously. But I think as long as we can keep that rhythm and the performances that we've had, we should be able to secure passage to the semi-final at Hampden comfortably tomorrow. So we'll get to the Celtic team then, and we'll start in goals like we always do. As I said, going into the Hibs game in the last round, it's maybe a chance for Sinisalo to come in and play. I didn't think Brendan Rodgers would put him in though against Hibs. I don't think he will do. Again, tomorrow, I think Casper will keep his place. Again, you see the other night how calm he is with the ball at his feet, helping us build out for the back and play through Bratislava's press. So good, really, really good. Not much he can do about the goal. Haven't seen it back. It was an absolute wonder strike. He didn't have too many saves to make on the night other than that. But again, really helping us with that distribution out from the back. I did manage to get 11 out of 11 before we go any further on this team. I did manage for the 3rd time this season, as you can see in the corner of your screen, to get 11 out of 11 the other night. Will I get it for tomorrow. I doubt it, but we'll move into the back four anyway. Ralston at right back, as I say, good opportunity for Johnston, I think, to sit out. I think Trusty's going to start ahead of Carter Vickers and we'll give the big man a rest. He did come off with about 7 or 8 minutes to go on Wednesday, and Trusty came on for his debut. There wasn't really enough time in the game for us to get to see Trusty in any real way, but I think he'll start tomorrow. I think Scales, the man of the match from the other night, will start alongside him. And I've just gone for Greg Taylor at left back. There's no doubt I think we'll see Alex Valle get his Celtic debut at some point in this game. But having gone through the team, I think I've maybe put in 5 changes. I don't expect Brendan Rodgers to make 7, 8, 9 changes to the team. I think he will want to keep some sort of rhythm going, given that the team's playing so well. I think there will be 1 or 2 senior first team players throughout the team, maybe in each position. Actually, there'll be someone you'd consider a starter regardless of who we're playing, just to keep some form of continuity, some form of fluidity, because we're playing so well. So we'll move into midfield. I think McGregor will play. There's maybe a shout for the likes of McGowan to start, who's really been really impressive in his cameos off the bench against Rangers and then against Hearts, getting his goal. But I think McGregor, given he had a week 2 weeks off, actually, near on 2 weeks off with the Scotland games, given he's retired now, I think McGregor will play. I think Bernardo will replace Hatate, and I think Engels will be another one to keep his position in midfield. So I know I've kept 2 of the main men in there, and Engels and McGregor. I just think McGregor will be fresh enough given his break during internationals, and I think Engels, just in the team, playing brilliantly. I think he is probably less likely to need a rest than Hatate. Hatate did come off earlier on Wednesday though, so I think it's really a toss of a coin. You could make a case for Engels or Hatate to be rested tomorrow, but I just think Engels playing really well. Only really had 2 full starts for us, so I think he's in good nick to keep going. I thought he was brilliant the other night. The maturity in his performance for somebody who's just turned 21, just arrived in a new country for a record fee at a big football club. To come in with the expectation in your first Champions League match that you would go and win the other night, but to put on a performance like he did. He got my man of the match. That wasn't to take it away from Liam Scales, who was also absolutely brilliant. Maeda was brilliant. There was so many contenders the other night. I just thought the maturity that Engels showed in the middle of the park was brilliant. His set piece delivery was superb. He was involved in everything that we did. I think I saw something on social media earlier this morning that he's the first Celtic player to score and assist in the same Champions League match since Henrik Larsson. In fact, the only one other than Henrik Larsson who's ever done that, which is a nice fella in his cap early in his career. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. For Bernardo, I think he's due a start. I think he deserves one, and I think it's a good opportunity for him to come in tomorrow. Let me know if you disagree with that midfield in the comments below. Front 3, I think Kuhn might just keep his place, and Palma will play from the left-hand side to replace Dyson Maeda, who put so much work in the other night. Again, another incredible defensive performance, but he also shows great composure for his goal, the 4th goal on the night. Brilliant work from Kyogo into Hatate. Hatate's footwork was tremendous, pokes it through to Maeda, and he takes a lovely first touch just by rolling his right foot over it and then guides it past the keeper, who gets a wee nick on it. But it was a brilliant finish, a great first touch. And I think Dyson Maeda is actually improving. Darren talked about this in the full-time reaction the other night. I think he's a player that's improved technically. I think he's making better decisions. Yes, he still has like 2 minutes after the goal where he's down the left-hand side and he blazes out the pitch. We're never going to totally eradicate that from his game, but I think he is getting a little bit more cute, a little bit more composed in that final third. And I think he was absolutely brilliant the other night. It was great to listen to Brendan Rodgers talk about that pressing sequence that he did in the pre-match press conference yesterday, where he'd gone out to the full-back and the ball ended up going to the centre-half and he made it to intercept it, despite the fact he charged it to the full-back. He still made it to the centre-half before the ball got there to intercept it. He's an absolute freak. He's a phenomenon, but I think he might start on the bench tomorrow and we'll give him a wee rest and give Palma an opportunity. On the right-hand side, you could definitely make a case for James Forrest starting the game tomorrow. I thought Kuhn was brilliant, actually, having watched the game back. And he's a brilliant assist for Kyogo's goal. Kyogo can't miss it. Great work down the right-hand side. I like the fact that he didn't cut inside. He went on the outside, get the cross in with his right foot. I'd like to see him do that a lot more often. Take the defender to the line and use his right foot, because that sequence, that assist shows you that he can do it. I'd like to see him do that more often. Forrest came off the bench and was really good as well. His assist for Ida's goal was absolutely sublime. Again, toss a coin for who's going to start in that position tomorrow, Forrest or Kuhn. I've just went with Kuhn. And through the middle, I'm going with Adam Ida. That goal the other night, a first Champions League appearance for him, a first Champions League goal, that will do him the world of good. It's his first goal for the club since his permanent move as well, so that will give him confidence. It will take a weight off his shoulders. We know that strikers and goal scorers, they need to score goals. He'll be feeling much better about himself for having gotten that monkey off his back the other night, and hopefully he can really kick on now. So there you go, that's the 11 I think Brendan Rodgers will go with tomorrow. 5 or 6 changes from the other night. You can let me know how many you think he'll make to the team for the Falkirk game tomorrow. Like the video, please don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you after the game tomorrow with all the full-time reaction as usual. Thank you.